Hi guys, Susan DeBay Art and Leather here. I'm stropping this blade so that I can scrape off the remainder of the old spine from the Bible. And I am putting on some methyl cellulose glue removal. This helps to make it easier to scrape off. You have to be very careful in this step here, but I am trying to get all the glue off, and then I sand also to make it smoother. I'm then now measuring for the ribbon. I usually do 2 inches on the bottom and 1 inch on the top, sometimes a little bit more. And then you're going to see me gluing this down in a minute. I have the ribbon at an angle. I cut that, and then I also put a fire on it so to singe the edges so it won't fray. I'm now putting on the headbands. I'm measuring for the headbands. And of course you have to put glue on first. The glue I'm using is PVC, and it's acid-free, archival quality. You put the ribbon on first before you put the headbands on. And that's the headband. I'm going to be cutting that off to size. And then you take your bone folder and really make sure that that's on there really nice and tight. Should put glue on both sides of the headband and then where the ribbon is at. This now is buckram. I'm not sure if it's called buckram or backram, but anyway, Joann's Fabric has it. And I put that on there to stabilize the spine. It makes it nice and strong. Before you do this step, you really have to put a lot more glue on the spine. You see me doing that in just a few minutes. Right now I'm putting on the band on the bottom. All books have this, or most books have this. It's a little more protection for the edges. You want to put quite a bit of glue on this. You'll see in a minute here where the buckram is, it's a weave, and the glue actually seeps through this weave. And that's what you want, because it gets in there. This backram becomes kind of like it's one with the spine. And I also leave the overhang on there too, because that also attaches to the leather. making it really strong. I then put more glue on there because I'm going to put part of the end sheet on there. It's a scrap piece that I use, and that again stabilizes the spine. I then just cut off the excess. You just want it on the spine, and that's it. And then I wipe off the excess glue. I will later take a crepe eraser and will be erasing any excess glue that's left. I'm now going to be cutting the end sheets. These are the first pages you see in your Bible. One end attaches to the leather cover, and the other end it just moves freely. But it also attaches to the spine as well. And you'll see that in another process coming up. Once it's cut, you fold it in half, and then you fold it in half again. You use your bone folder to get a nice crease on it. So you then cut that part, cut that in half. And then you fold that in half again. And that will be the part that is the actual end sheets. You make two of these, one on the front of the Bible and one at the end of the Bible. I'll show you how to do that whole entire process. That is where it goes. I just wanted to make sure it has a good fit, and I will cut the excess edge off. I'll show you how to do that in the upcoming minutes here. You just want to take a very small brush and very carefully put in a little, this is called tipping in the page, and it's a little process, but you have to do it right. You just put a small amount of glue all across the spine there, underneath the buckram, which then gets glued onto the spine. Or I mean the leather. After you get done gluing that part, then you are also going to be gluing on the creased side of the end sheet. And as you can see, it's just maybe 1/8 of an inch bit of glue there. Don't put in any more than that. And then it goes right in underneath that buckram piece. And I take the bone folder and then I make sure it has a very good adhesion. And you want to make sure you get it up in there as much as you can. Once you get that done, you see there's quite a bit left over. And I will be cutting that off and showing you how to do that. These are just the little tricks of the trade that seemed like it took me forever to learn because I was watching YouTube videos and trying to learn how to do it. I've got it down pretty good, how it works good for me. I'm sure there might be other places that might do it differently. That's how I do it, and it works good. I'm now putting the steel ruler underneath the text block, and we'll be cutting off the excess end sheets. You want to make sure that you cut this with precision. And also, when you hold your cutter, make it as far down as you can, because otherwise the page could buckle. And you do that for both sides. And then once you get that done, we're going to cut those corners off and make it rounded. You also want to make sure that your blades are nice and sharp. Really makes your job a lot easier. This is I can't remember the name of it. It's an envelope folding little tool, and it rounds the corners for you. It's a punch. You don't have to get the entire little thing like this, because they do have punches that just miter the corners for you. But I do this on all four corners, the front end sheets and the back end sheets. That way, most Bible pages are rounded like that, and it matches the roundness of the pages. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking a scribe. I have the Bible down flat, and I'm holding that Bible down flat. And as you can see here, I'm taking the scribe. This is telling you where you're going to be putting your glue down. And you need to be able to know where to put that glue. If you get it outside of that scribe line, you can take the crepe eraser and lift off the glue. It gives you a better edge if you try to be careful and not get it outside the scribe line. After that is done, you want to bring back your Bible, open up the end sheet, and insert a scrap piece of paper I got from a magazine, because you're going to be gluing the top sheet of the end sheet. You put it inside the end sheet. Make sure there's overages on all sides. And then you just start gluing. You're also going to glue on top of that backroom too, because if you don't, there will be a gap in the spine of your Bible. See, I'm gluing it right now. And you have to do that because otherwise it won't glue to the inside of the leather. And also be very diligent on not putting too much glue on. After I get done, I scrape it off, most of it off, but leave enough, to where there's going to be a good adhesion. With contact cement, which is what this is, not only do you have to glue down the leather side, but you also have to glue down the in-sheet side that will be attached to the leather, because on contact cement, you have to glue both sides. Here you have to be real careful about how you're gluing or putting down the in-sheet to the leather. You have to line it up very carefully. And then you are you're scribing you close up the Bible, and then you are also scribing another line for the other back side of the Bible. So you see there I have another line there, which I will also apply glue on the leather side and also on the in-sheet side. At this point, you put in your scrap piece of paper inside the in-sheet, close it up, and then you glue the top of the in-sheet as well. The in-sheet is a thicker piece of paper than your pages, and it's protection, and it makes the Bible look really nice. So here you pick up the whole Bible, and then you are going to be gluing that in-sheet down to where you just have the glue on the Bible, on the leather. At that point, you do have some extra glue on top of the in-sheet. That's okay. You can take that off with the crepe eraser. And then you put this down with the squeegee. Make sure there's no wrinkles and all that. If you do get a wrinkle, hey, that's fine. When in the drying process, you put a brick on top of everything, and that will usually iron everything out. So don't worry about that. And see, now I'm taking the crepe eraser, I'm getting it off the top of the in-sheet and also the sides of the Bible, the sides of the leather where it was a tiny bit of overage. You see now that there's an overage of leather. You can let that brick stay on there for a while. Now what I'm doing is you have to cut off the excess leather, and I've taken a steel, or it might be stainless steel. Anyway, it's a square bar. It's a 1/4-inch square bar, and this is to where it gives me a guide on where to cut the excess leather off at. It gives you a margin where the leather has a margin, so the pages can be protected. It's a 1/4-inch margin. And again, I'm scribing here, so I know where to cut this time. And you do all that all around the Bible. I take my big Fiskar scissors to do that, and then I just start cutting around around the leather, around the Bible. The spine area is really, if you're going to have trouble, that's probably where you're going to have it. But you just keep your eye on that line where you cut, and you should be fine. You want to save all the scraps of your leather as well. I do make a bookmark for my clients and I put a ribbon in it. So it's leather, and it comes out of my scraps. So somebody can get some good use out of it. And it's my gift to my client. Okay, so now I'm going to be doing the corners of the leather, because remember, we want to follow, all the pages are curved, the end sheets are curved, and now you want to curve the corners of the leather. I do that with a leather template that I have. I'm marking that with a white ink pen. That will all get cut off. You see I'm doing here. I would ask you guys to please subscribe and like my videos, and if you want to, share my videos if you know someone else who wants a Bible cover. That sure would help my algorithms. I just started doing the Bible cover videos. I also do art videos as well, but I thought it would be nice. There is the Bible. The spine is reinforced, and it's just really a nice thing to do for someone. Thanks for watching, guys. God bless.